Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, welcome to TFYLP, episode 518. We're live tonight. It is Monday, February 20th. I'm Lucas. I'm joined tonight by Phil.
Happy President's Day!
There you go. And Paul. And Christian.
What up?
And Peter.
Forever does Trump.
So,
Let me
welcome
pause
guys
here.
on this.
Whose
nice
mistake is
President's Day.
that?
What?
Mistake for drinking during the intros, or Lucas's mistake for going to the one guy who had something in his mouth while he was doing the intros?
Yes, both.
Okay, all right. I don't disagree with that, Christian.
Hey, I like to keep people on their toes, okay, Phil?
Paul was slamming a refreshing Coca-Cola for those of you just listening.
There's
Well,
no one using the
filling up his
podcast
cup.
feed. There's no one using just the podcast feed. It's sad but true.
What's wrong?
They're all watching us.
What about the podcast feed?
Phil's trying to tell the listeners what is happening visually.
Oh, hey, you never know. There might be some listeners at some point if I put the episode up timely.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, but I'm not trying to throw stones here.
I used this thing on my resume last week, so it would be cool if you could put stuff up every once in a while.
Hey, you know what? I got us caught up. I have last week's episode is the only one that hasn't been up yet. So
Right on.
the feed works like Zaldron. I swear to you. I checked. I reestablished the feed. So if the feed is not working for you, you might cancel the feed the podcast feed that you are subscribed to, and then try to restart it, because I had to re-enable. I don't know, for whatever reason the old one didn't work, and I had to reset up the Apple iTunes and Google Play both. So, but it should be working now. If it is not working, let me know.
And Zaldron, let me say this. I don't hear you volunteering to help fix this problem.
We didn't ask.
Oh!
And that's what a volunteer does. A volunteer does something without being asked.
Shout out to any HR and recruiters that are having an interview with me tomorrow. Hi.
And shout out to our listeners. We care about each and every one of you very much.
There you
All
go.
All right, BossBot, what's our topic?
G.I. Joe, apparently, according to Peter.
No, we're not talking army guys versus snake terrorists. No one cares about them. It's 2023. They were relevant 40 years ago. Goodbye.
Hey, man, lots
Well,
of people
technically
care.
it was less time than that. I mean, it might have been like 35. So. Okay, so anyway, so what we're actually talking about is the fact that there's been like a million leaks since we had our last leak show, and I think we've had a couple other shows and haven't actually discussed all these leaks. So I haven't kept up with any of this stuff, so I really need you guys, and I'm looking at, Paul and Christian and the people in the chat to keep me up to speed, because I really get all my news from this show in addition to you guys getting your news.
You get to have live reactions to everything. It's pretty cool.
So you're hitting it to the pros. That's cool.
But I really do love that, Hasbro finally gave us official pipeline reveals. And, whoever does the leaks is like, yeah, I'm going to one-up you here. Let's talk 2024. I'm going 12 months advance on your butts. You going what's coming out in the next 6 months? Let's talk about the next half decade.
Well, there are two small pieces of news that have been officially announced that I'd like to cover just briefly first, if that's all right with you guys.
Fine.
I know. It's new stuff that we haven't talked about on the show before, at least not with me. So the first was that we had the reveal of Origins Jazz from the Buzzworthy line. He's coming.
I think we talked. Did we talk about that last week?
We did.
Well, I was here. Sorry. Okay, then I'll skip past that one. The next thing
We
is
love
that,
it.
according to Entertainment Earth and my inferences, and I'll read you the quote. Pre-orders for Studio Series Snarl are going up tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, there we go. Transformers Tuesday.
Crystal ball.
Transformers Tuesday. Yeah, their little blurb on their Drop Zone page. It's right there. I'm just going to read it to you because you can't read it. It says, everything old is new again. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And something or other about the late Thag Simmons.
About the what?
Thag Simmons was a researcher, and in a Far Side comic, the spiky tail part of a Stegosaurus was named after him. And since it didn't have a name prior to that, they just kind of accepted it. So now that thing is called the Thagomizer.
Thag Simmons.
I'm glad we had a context to that.
That's what you keep me around for, context and leak lists.
Yeah,
Now,
that didn't have a name before, right? That piece of the Stegosaurus.
That Far Side thing named after him, and then everyone just kind of accepted it. It was cool.
Can we back up a moment here? Wasn't there a teaser for a Titanic reveal for the end of February? Or is
that one is actually happening next Tuesday, the 28th.
Next Tuesday. Okay.
Yes, that one is called A Toy of Titanic Proportions and Equal Secrecy. You should be here for this one.
Who could
Taking that as an allusion to the secret of Omega Supreme.
Who could it be now?
So, do you think they'll call it Omega Sentinel, or do you think it's going to be Shattered Glass Omega Supreme?
Shattered Glass Omega Supreme is a different model and different colors, so it'll be called Omega Sentinel.
Why would it be a secret? Because the Sentinels didn't show up in a secret of Omega Supreme. They showed up in War Dawn.
I know, but I think they're just making an allusion to that it's a repaint of Omega.
I think they clearly didn't do their research, and they're just trying to frustrate people.
I think you're probably right, but it left us an important clue.
It left me frustrated.
I'm sorry.
I'm
doing the best I
can.
can. I don't write
would be
copy
better
paste
off if they hired Peter as a consultant, as a fact checker.
They do have an associate brand manager on the Transformers team open. I applied for it again.
Well, you know what? If you get
Shout
it,
out to Hasbro HR recruiters.
If you get it, they won't make those types of mistakes.
They won't. It'll just be me. Actually, this is Entertainment Earth.
Yeah.
So,
no, I know, but I'm saying is
said Christian will have a name.
No, but I'm saying is Christian, you know that he will be reaching out to all of his, friends and family to make sure that he does not make those types of mistakes.
He won't make those mistakes. He's a one-man encyclopedia. He's the one-man wiki. He can do it.
I thought he was the one-man backup wiki to Peter.
I am the one-man backup wiki.
No, Christian won't make those mistakes because we'll be doing his job for him on the reg.
I don't know if I get that job, I'll be allowed to tell you I have that
Christian
job.
will get that job, and all of a sudden, like, wait, why is every line now bots?
And Christian, you get that job, you won't be able to talk to us anymore. It'll be illegal,
right?
Unless someone from legal is listening and recording it.
There's just a picture of like all the
teams.
members of the cast. Like it's like a picture of Rick, and like we're all surrounding him, and it's like the big nose. Don't talk to these folks.
Yeah, Christian will be like, well, theoretically, if this character came out, like asking for a friend. So.
I'm just checking the drop zone again to see if there's any more.
Drop zone. Look out.
So
in the
Marvel stuff, Power Ranger stuff, Bad Batch stuff. I think that's all for us for now.
I know Big Bad got in Metal Hawk and what was the other one, the wave?
Twin Cast.
Twin Cast. Like, have any other stores gotten them, or has it just been Big Bad?
It seems like just a Big Bad Toy Store.
Christian, did you get yours from BBTS?
Yep.
Okay.
There you go. Look at you.
I know. Sometimes I get to be Mr. Flex.
Mr. Flex over here.
Not often. Occasionally.
So,
Okay, those are my two little things. I guess 3 little things since we did the Omega Sentinel thing again. You guys want some leaks?
yeah, so
Turn on the
let's
faucet.
start in with the leaks. What?
Okay, Paul, let's start with the leaks that you and I uncovered together, which weren't leaks so much as they were things from a distributor that we then assigned names to that then proved to be true.
Let's do that.
Great. After you, there was a bunch of exclusives. I think that's primarily what we're talking about today.
Exclusives?
Well,
Exclusives.
it seems like the Generation Selects are whittling down from the onslaught that they started with. So there's
Is that a hint?
only
Are we getting Onslaught? Are we getting
No.
Fall of Cybertron Onslaught? Ooh, I can't wait for some Fall of Cybertron Onslaught.
onslaught.
Really cool.
They're going to make them a core size this time, and the rest of the Combaticons will be Voyager.
Okay, so the
right.
toys, there's only going to be 3, it appears, this particular year, unless you count the Sentinel, which would basically be 4. But in previous years, they've had a ton of them. But I think the Shattered Glass toys have kind of taken up those slots.
It looks like they still will.
Yeah, if they keep that going. So, but we don't have much news on that.
If they keep it going, what are you talking about? Like, Hasbro's just going to ride that cash cow, those easy repaints.
Yeah. If they keep the amount of product that they had in the previous years, there's going to be like 7 or 8 Shattered Glass toys. But the thing of those don't really leak because they're kind of like all Hasbro internal, so there's no other like leaky sources for that. So that's good.
Yeah,
for them.
And do you know how well that comic book's selling?
Not at all because it's not being published.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. My bad.
I mean, the comic was supplemental at best, so the toys were going to exist whether the comic was there or not.
Wait
a minute.
How
Whoa.
great will it be if Hasbro puts the cart before the horse and we get Shattered Glass toys with comics from the new publisher before the new publisher actually announces? I could see that kind of F up happening.
It's possible. It's also possible they just said, we're not making comics anymore. Yay. Like, that's probably the most likely. Peter, were you going to stop us?
I was just going to say I refuse to believe that Shattered Glass would have any sort of fiction attached to it, good or bad. It's predominantly bad, though. So I'm amazed that comics are being mentioned with Shattered Glass at all.
Yeah, I forgot that they were there. So, Christian, why don't you take it away?
Cool,
not
man.
getting anywhere.
So
I'm not getting anywhere.
the Omega Sentinel is kind of one that has been batted around for a while. We kind of know that's coming. We don't know what it looks like, which is kind of cool. We'll see it next week. But the 2 newer ones that Paul and I figured out are Deluxe Windsweeper and Voyager Antagony. Which is very cool.
So if you have the Transformers Collectors Club subscription service from, 2014? Then you'll have all of the Trigger Cons once Windsweeper comes out.
You already had them.
You already have a Windsweeper.
Already came out.
Yeah, in the club.
In that club subscription.
Yeah. Come on now.
I need to cut back on the drinking.
But what if you weren't part of the club?
And this will be your first Windsweeper.
If you weren't part of the
really
club,
long
then your
time.
collection is grabouge.
Boom! Deep cut!
But yeah, Windsweeper will join Spinister and Needlenose And no, sorry, there's the double target masters. My bad. Windsweeper will join Crankcase. Different sublines, Peter. This is why we have you and not me.
Come on, keep going.
Crankcase and not Ruckus because he doesn't exist.
Thank you.
Yeah. I know he's in it, just he doesn't exist yet. I think he'll exist from Beachcomber later, but that's not a leak. That's just a Christian theory.
That's a hope.
So, yeah,
I thought we were
first-
going to get that from the last Beachcomber, but nope.
This one will be better. So we'll have Windsweeper, which is cool. He's a selects. He'll be available in the normal places selects are available, presumably. And the other one's Antagony, who has not had a toy since... Is that 97? 98, Peter?
98.
98.
97 was Pack Rat and Fractal.
Pack Rat and Fractal.
Yeah.
I have one of those.
So for those
Anyway.
who aren't in the know, can you explain who Antagony is?
Antagony is a female black repaint of Beast Wars Inferno. She's a herald of Unicron, and she's pretty badass. Also has not been seen in fiction since 2006.
And
Unless
where
she was
did
in
she
the
come
background
from?
of-
I don't remember her from any cartoons.
She's a BotCon character from 98.
Well, there you go.
Oh,
Dude,
Who said that, man? Pay attention.
Did we? That's 25 years ago, man. People gotta.
Yeah.
People were drinking 25 years ago.
I was 6 years old at the time,
Yeah. I was not drinking 25 years ago. I was
which means
a
you guys are
very
between like
goody two shoe high school kid.
14 and 17 when that occurred. Fun fact. So yes, Antagony's coming, and she's really cool. That's going to be the second toy she's ever had, and I don't, unless she appeared in the weird Onyx Prime Maximal Predacon nonsense from IDW, she has not appeared in fiction since 2006 or 7. Beast Wars: The Ascending, she was there.
And how did we figure these out, Christian?
Well,
We
it was
weren't
kind of
just we weren't just handed the words Windsweeper and
We were
Antagony
not.
on a platter.
the words we had were Voyager Predacon, and we sort of just extrapolated how many Voyager Predacons could there possibly be out of the Predacon molds, and she was the only one that made sense. Unless they're
Now,
going
let me
to
ask
repaint
you-
Rhinox as something.
Let me ask you two a question.
What?
We weren't
Between
done,
you two-
Phil.
We weren't done,
Between you
Phil.
two super sleuths, which one is Sherlock and which one is Watson?
I'm Sherlock.
Cool. I'm Watson.
Because I'm the one that stands around and doesn't do anything. I just
You're
get
all the
the-
Flash. I'm the substance.
I just get the clues and I sprinkle them.
All right.
you run them through the discount Destron, and we come up with solutions.
So Paul is Benedict Cumberbatch.
And I'm Martin Freeman.
So Hobbit.
So the-
Zaldrun did say that Antagony was in IDW 1, so could have been. I don't know. I didn't read IDW 1. Peter, what do you say?
Besides the Ascending,
I was going to say that we wouldn't be using the Cumberbatch Sherlock. We would be using the Downey Jr. Sherlock, because look at that guy's face. Look at him. God.
that makes me Jude Law then? I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's what
Heyo.
I was thinking too. So
I don't
So,
know.
yeah.
I prefer the Cumberbatch Freeman.
Oh,
For-
better show.
Sure.
Better show.
Yeah.
Right.
Better
For
show than
Windsweeper-
movies. Yes, absolutely.
Windsweeper was kind of interesting. We got the listing of Deluxe TriggerCon or TriggerCon Deluxe, something like that, right, Paul? And just
Yeah.
based on
What
the
are you gonna do
molds
with that?
available,
So do we know who he's a remold of?
the presumption
Needlenose.
is Needle Nose.
Okay. Fair.
And they'll replace the Target Masters with like cool chrome guns.
No, they
That,
won't.
I mean, or they won't. Someone will. and I will
they'll just be like silver unnamed drones or something,
I'd be okay with that. That's new dudes. We like new
Dude
dudes.
one. Maybe they'll be scraplets.
Whoa. Ron
You like
said
Scraplets?
JT Prime beat Paul and Christian. Who the F is JT Prime?
It's me.
No, he actually didn't. He didn't beat us, but we didn't bother. What are we gonna do? Post in TFW where no
Ron,
one
here's the
listens?
thing. We saved this juicy content for you, the listener /
Yeah.
viewer.
Oh, we
You
figured this out like
already know it,
3
man.
weeks.
You
It
can-
was like
and
3
did
weeks
it
ago.
like
you can bounce.
multiple weeks after you guys
bunching
actually
it all
had the
together
conversation.
to put in one cohesive thing.
Yeah.
How about who was that? Zalballs or
That was
Ron.
Ron. That was Ron.
Okay. Well, how about this juicy tidbit? We got one for you. There's one more selects coming down.
There's one more selects.
If you want to hear this tidbit, you better smash that like and subscribe right now.
Yeah, subscribe it up. It's not very interesting.
It's very uninteresting.
Because all it is G1 Headmaster Deluxe.
It's G1 Headmaster.
What's that? What's that?
Could be anything. Could be a new bolt.
We heard the solution. It's
a
very
single
uninteresting.
pack Cerebros with the Japanese Fortress head.
Already way better than what it is.
We'll leave you all to wonder what that could be.
Is it cancer?
It's not cancer.
Oh.
It's figuratively.
It's out there.
Or
The
literally?
solution is out there from the leaker that I guess Ron mentioned. He posted over the weekend. It's there.
Oh yeah, maybe he did now.
He says it's point blank. The
What?
Headmaster version.
So a Headmaster colored version of Point Blank. So a new head on the Point Blank toy. I'll buy it.
Why?
No one else will.
No one else
What do
will.
you mean no one else will? A bunch of folks
It
will.
looks exactly the
Yeah.
same.
People
Okay.
will still buy it. It has a new hat, okay?
Oh, no, wait. The toy version has a different head. Never mind.
Going back in time. You guys want to hear some red listings? Or you want me to skip those?
Yeah, do it.
God. Red is still a thing? For real?
Red is
like that's
still
the
a
most
thing,
shocking
apparently.
thing.
See, here's the thing
Red
with
is a-
Red.
Red is a great
You walk into
thing.
Walmart and you find Red toys and you sell them to other people for inflated prices.
Yeah.
So we've got G1 Sound Blaster, G1 Grimlock, G1 Skywarp, and Prime Starscream.
So do you think the red will be the dinosaur or a Robo-Man?
It's
That's
just
a good
about to ask
question.
the same thing.
I think it will be the Robo-Man.
I would
I'm
definitely
kidding.
prefer
I
to
wouldn't
be
pick
the
it up
Robo.
either way. I picked up a few. I don't need it anymore. I'm good.
Super 7 did the dinosaur, so if they want to differentiate themselves from Super 7, which everyone
They
loves, they would
Super
do the
7
box.
line is bad.
Super 7 line is bad.
I like how we're already referring to it in the past tense. There's still like 3 waves that haven't actually come out yet. And it's like,
I don't know if they're ever going to come out. I've got some Rise of the Beast stuff. Nothing super great. Kind of the kiddie line stuff. I can skip those or I can go through them.
yeah, ironically, Rise of the Beast doesn't give me a rise.
All right. That's not cool. We
I
had
wouldn't
an
mind
official
hearing
reveal of Studio Series Deluxe Mirage, which looks nothing like the Mirage from the trailer the night before it got revealed. That was an official thing that happened.
I mean,
Okay,
the
now, I've
car
got two
looks exactly like the
features.
car.
Looks
Surge
exactly
is
like the car, which
super
is cool.
excited.
He is, and I'm glad for him. I will do what I can to help him get it. So I've got two leak lists, one from Studio Series and one from Legacy Uni. We don't know what Uni is. Could be Universe, could be United, could be Unilever. Probably not that third one.
It's Unicron. They're just releasing them at regular retail. Those
There you go.
bastards, they lied
what's
to
happening.
us.
And he'll be
Yep.
$200.
It'll
And
be
have more
$200.
accessories.
Okay, so let's start with Studio Series. That one came out
Wait,
a
wait,
little
wait.
bit ago.
And then you press a button and it's got Rob saying, Flapjack Backstacks.
That'd be pretty funny. Okay, actually, there's two other ones I want to talk about before I get to the main line because we were all exclusives. So these are like recent. These are hot off the presses. We have a Buzzworthy Bumblebee Robots in Disguise 2001 version. Tow Line coming. Like Tow Line. We like car robots. Yeah, Peter, check it out. Tow Line.
Peter,
No,
what do you
we're
think?
not yelling
Toe line?
Joe.
Yes.
Okay. I think tow line would be great if it were the Energon tow line. I'm interested.
I do too.
I'm interested to see the Machine Wars repaints of RID tow line. I'm not enamored with it, but if it is going to be a scrap hook redeco, as is suspected, it'll be fun to be add-on armor for Toxitron, who we're going to mention in about 15 seconds. Go.
Now,
Toxitron
wait.
is also coming.
Was the other.
Do we think
what was the
Toxitron
paint?
is he a repaint of the Laser Prime?
Almost certainly, but I fear that it would not be. So let's not try and bring that into the world.
Could be the Audi Prime.
Let's just
The Volvo Prime?
Volvo Prime. There we go.
I don't want that. I mean,
There's an
it
Audi
wouldn't be
Prime?
the worst thing in the world.
I don't
No,
know.
there's only a Volvo Prime.
Either way, Christian's version is going to come smashed to pieces. Lucas's version is going to come smashed to pieces. Christian's
Yes.
version is going to be perfectly safe.
Yeah, I'm usually perfectly safe. Yeah, they could presumably do it from one of the other types of Optimus molds, but I don't know why they would at this point. They're so accurate to everything else, so there's not a reason for them to use not the laser mold.
So, will the Toxitron coming out make the club version of Toxitron worth less or more?
The same, because that one's part of the wreckage combiner.
Right. Okay.
This one won't be able to combine. Toxitron is coming from it's not listed as selects, it's listed as that capsule program. So it's taking up a select spot, but called something else we don't know yet.
What is the capsule program? I'm not familiar with
Capsule is what they've referred to the Shattered Glass line as for the past couple of years.
Okay.
So he's not Shattered Glass Toxitron. It's just that it's the pulse comes with stuff thing. We've got G2 Grimlock listed in that as well.
Okay.
So there's something that's happening, and those two are in it, and they're coming that way.
Okay.
And Buzzworthy Tow Line. Yay, Tow Line. I'm hoping that he's not just a straight Redeco scrapbook, because that wouldn't make any sense.
they've done a good job with like pre-tooling rando bits.
Yes.
It'll be fine.
Especially
would
with that
suspect
design
it would
style.
be Mad Maxi style, but do the same transformation. That's me guessing. That's not even me theorizing. That's just me guessing.
All right. So for those folks who are not as informed as Peter and Christian, can you talk about the paint differences between the different scrap hook color schemes?
There is one color scheme for scrapbook.
All right.
He looks like this.
What
mean
is
toe
it
line?
You're talking about
Toe
what?
line. Toe line.
Toe line.
Toe line.
Toe line.
Okay, so in Japan, in 1997, there were some flip changers that were released for KB exclusive line called Machine Wars. They had two figures, one black, one yellow. Yellow one was hubcap, black one was hoist. The exact same molds, just different decos. Fast forward
This
a
one
few
was a
years.
tow truck.
Yeah, tow truck. Fast forward a couple of years to Car Robot, and there was a character named Wrecker Hook, and he was that mold in crazy neon green. He looked really cool. Then they released Super Wrecker Hook, which was like kind of clear,
Orange.
and orange, yeah, different deco, and translucent. So what you want to do when you get that I think it was released in Daie store, Daeie or Daei camera store. Anyway, for one weekend in Japan in 1999, you buy that thing, it comes in a bag, you want to bang it on the counter and watch its translucent plastic just completely shatter. There's very, very few of them. Smash them freely. And then it was renamed Tow Line, and then it was renamed Tow Line and released in the RID. It was in a 2-pack, right, with Skidsy?
No, Tow Line and Skyfire.
Yeah, they released them
Those
in
were
ridiculous.
mold makes, correct?
No.
Like they were gang molded.
Gang mold.
Are the
Yeah.
are the flip changers gang molded?
I believe they were, yeah.
Okay, well, cool.
Anyway, they were released at the deluxe price point in 2-packs for RID 2001, and that is the end of that. The Machine Wars
Except for
version got
Robot
homages
Masters.
in the Oh,
Except
we'll
for
get to the
Robot
Robot Masters in a sec. That's Wrecker Hook again, though. And then the Machine Wars guys got homaged in BotCon 2013,
15.
15,
13. You're right.
13. Yeah,
That's why you call me discount.
come on now. And they were great, and they went on super discount.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
They
yeah.
did.
The end. Oh, talk about Robot Masters.
Yeah, so Wrecker Hook came back in Robot Masters, and he had a brand new giant hammer accessory. And he
Which is speculated to have
been part of a Microman line that was canceled.
an LED-powered Microman line, correct.
But we don't care about Microman because they get canceled. No, sometimes we care about Microman. But in this instance, Wrecker Hook was black repaint with like red and chrome and some kind of crazy rainbow color scheme. I haven't seen him in a while.
He's very, very fancy, very nice.
Very fancy.
It's a fun mold. It was like one of those early flip changey plus ball joints things. So coming off of the Cyberjets and all that stuff from G2, we're finally seeing ball joints on Gen 1-ish vehicle mode. So it was a breath of fresh air in Machine Wars, and yeah, a lot of fun.
Tow Line did appear in the Robots in Disguise cartoon. He's not a fan of illegal parking.
Nope, and he was in what, 2 episodes? 3?
2 or 3.
Yeah.
He had 1 spotlight episode, and then he was back at the end. And maybe 1 more in the middle somewhere, minorly.
Yeah, he didn't do very much. He was there to sell toy.
4 episodes.
Yeah.
But he was there, and he had a cool voice, and he did cool things, and he was away. Anyway, he was one of the first toys that I had, because I was of that age, and I'd be very excited to get a new version of him.
There was some really good voice acting in that RID cartoon.
There was. So that's
Peter. Thank you.
I've never seen it in English.
You should. It's worth a watch in English.
Did you you weren't in Afghanistan at the time, you didn't see it in Kurdish.
No, I saw Car Robot. I didn't watch RID. RID wasn't carried locally, and I didn't catch the second season of Beast Machines because they stopped carrying it locally. They preempted it with sports and stuff. So
remember that.
I watched Beast Machines online.
I quit watching Robots in Disguise as a kid because it was so much less serious than Beast Wars, and that's what I grew up watching on TV, not renting from Blockbuster. That's a different thing. But I then watched it later as a teenager. I was like, oh, this is great. It's just lighthearted and fun. That's a different thing. So I ended up really liking it.
I remember one of the train bots was voiced by by a guy who had some small appearances in the Drew Carey show. Who was the gray train bot with the gold head?
Rapid Run.
Rapid Run, thank you. That actor was a couple appearances in the Drew Carey show back in the day.
I don't know what his Japanese name is because they all are just J numbers, and that doesn't encode in my brain properly.
I'm pretty sure the voice actor would have his English name in Japan as well as in America.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
getting back on track, would you guys like to hear some
get
studio
back on
series
track like a
listings
train
for
bot
next year?
Wait, are the train bots coming out?
I wish. They keep getting mentioned in certain circles. It just kind of feels like there's something going on in the background with them, but nothing concrete and nothing soon.
They keep getting teased, man.
Yeah, I think there's probably some concepts made up for them somewhere. We never see. But they're not in these studio series listings that I'm going to read to you right now. You ready?
Sure.
In the core class, this is studio series, so we have Last Night Mohawk, B-Movie Rumble, which is not a thing, and B-Movie Starscream, also not a thing. We'll get to that. We'll get there. Just let me finish the list and we'll get back to it.
Wait, did you mean Blitzwing?
Finish the list and we'll get back to it.
Did you mean you meant to say Blitzwing, right?
Bumblebee Movie Starscream. Then we have Deluxe 07 Scorponok, B-Movie Sunstreaker, again not a thing. War for Cybertron Sideswipe. And then in Voyager we have War for Cybertron Starscream, 86 Scrap Heap, and Bumblebee Movie Shockwave. Then Leader, we have Bumblebee Movie Megatron, not a thing, and 86 Swoop.
86 Leader Swoop, right?
86 Leader Swoop, that's correct.
Yeah.
So everyone can relax.
Everyone
got the
relax.
fucking pterodactyl, all right? Just chill out.
There's
But
nothing to
Paul-
say that it's going to come out. There's nothing to say that we're all going to be here.
Not until 2024.
Don't get everyone's hopes up that something's going to happen, something good, when all sorts of bad things can happen between now and then.
And his leader class, so we're guaranteed he's going to have some extra accessories, right, Christian? You're guaranteeing it right now to our
I'm
audience.
not guaranteeing it. I think it is likely, but I'm not guaranteeing it by any
Is there a
stretch.
throne potentially involved?
My theory the whole time has been that he'll come with the swords for everybody else.
Okay.
And the gun for Snarl.
I hope he comes with a Carly who's like got a broken ankle or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, I rolled my ankle. Oh, it sucks."
I hope
would
he
be
comes with
fine with
Sludge's bulging eyes.
I'll be fine with that.
I would be.
Realistically, I
enjoy
would like to
that.
see a Centurion pack that is like slash, and it comes with all those weapons and stuff.
Dude,
That's what I would like.
no, not slash. Paddles. Paddles all the way.
Paddle.
You can't put a leader class figure in a deluxe size pack, man.
I mean,
But you can put a deluxe class figure in a leader size package and sell it at leader class price. #Hasbro.
what?
I don't think that
What?
has ever
We've never
happened.
gotten
So no. So Paul, let's talk about these Bumblebee movie stuff that doesn't exist in the Bumblebee movie. What is the prevailing theory here?
I mean, I know my theory. I wouldn't say it's prevailing.
It is prevailing. Unless you say something that's really going to surprise me right now.
Well, as you know, I hold the torch for the Bumblebee movie being a prequel. So there is no Bumblebee movie Megatron. Well, there is, but they've already released it. It was Megatron from the first movie.
But
That's
the
what he's
Best Buy
doing.
version that was like frozen, right?
Yeah,
He's
he's
in the dam right now.
he'd have icicles hanging off of him, like
He's got
confetti.
Jason Momoa and Vin Diesel like driving over him in the Hoover Dam, right?
Yes.
But there is. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen it. There is supposedly concept art of a G1 looking Megatron that kind of fits the Cybertron scene motif.
There is.
So maybe it is literally just like they might even like bill it as concept Megatron or something. If they do that.
That was not the prevailing theory. You really did surprise me on that one.
So,
What is
Christian,
the
what is the prevailing
theory?
I
theory?
told
The
you.
prevailing theory, given that Rumble, Megatron, and Sunstreaker all kind of stick out as not being in the Bumblebee movie, is that it's not movie 6, they're mislabeled 86 things, which would make sense because Rumble is coming from Frenzy, or Rumble that we already got. I don't know. The blue one will be the red one. And then Sunstreaker, again, not in B movie, but was in the 86 movie. Megatron, same way.
But if they do release some concept Megatron from the live action series, who's to say they don't have others?
Who's to say?
Because do you really want Ravage to be the only thing that turns into a brick that falls into Soundwave? I mean, maybe you
Yes.
want a little dude.
No, that was very bad. But hey. This did remind me that the previously released 86 Voyager Junk Heap, that's not his actual name. Because Scrap Heap is coming. They're not both heaps, but they're renamed because of trademark reasons. It's Junkyard and Scrap Heap. Those are their names.
Yeah, the cases for Scrapyard or whatever his name, Junk Heap.
Scrap Heap.
They say the other name.
Oh,
Like
do
the
they?
shipper boxes do. Yeah,
Nice.
They say Junkyard on the box. I can go grab one.
That would be
So, real
really
quickly,
cool.
Ron, who contributes positive things to the chat versus Aldron, suggested that leader class swoop will come with a flight stand.
Possible, sure.
See that?
It's going to be a redeco of the Victory Saber stand, and it's going to have the same. It's like the exact same mold.
It's going to be like
Well,
this big yellow
Hey, that's
V,
cool.
and some
Yeah.
intern just scribbled with a Sharpie S over it.
It'll just someone will some intern will write swoop and it'll be spelled SOOPE or SOP swap. I don't know.
Is there a random Q in there? Swoop?
I think it's
Call me
interesting
Swoop.
that Scorponok from the 07 movie is getting a second toy before Frenzy from the 07 movie gets a first toy. I know you guys aren't huge live action collectors, but I mean, Frenzy's been the only gap in that 07 group for almost 2 years now.
My live action collection is larger than all of yours is.
Yeah, but you hate it.
Doesn't matter. You said I'm not that big a collector, and you're wrong.
Scorponok was a cool
take it back in your
scorpion robot that jumped out of the sand. Frenzy was a thing that let us hear that the George Bush, stand-in wanted ding-dongs.
The ding-dongs.
I don't know. He's the only robot character in that film to not have a toy. And Scorponok's not going to have a second one.
Well, do you think Hasbro does this intentionally just to get at you, Christian?
Just to get at me specifically? I doubt
Well, not
it.
you specifically, but you
No,
and people like
Christian
you.
specifically.
I am
think it's
convinced everything
it's
that
a
Hasbro
small
does is done
character.
personally.
To Peter, not to Christian.
To all of us. If you feel slighted by Hasbro, they like it like that.
No,
Every
I think
time
it's just
a new
it's a small
CEO
character,
of
and that's the
Hasbro
issue.
gets installed, they're like, here's the file on Peter Chavez. We're going to tell you what decisions you need to authorize and not authorize personally to insult him.
And everything insults him. So
Yeah.
have at it.
Yeah.
So
So
as soon as he starts working on a custom, right, then that's the time to release the figure.
that's when they know. The alert goes off.
Oh, time to make horrible.
Damn it, Peter! Stop working so hard. So, Christian, here's one for you about Frenzy. You look at our little bro Freezer lately.
Yeah.
You see that his
kind of Frenzy-ish.
He fucking is Frenzy. Look at him. He is him. Like, look at the box that came out, and it shows the movie. I'm like, oh, cool, it's Frenzy. That's exactly who it is. And there's another one coming out. I don't know if it's going to be a repaint of him or something else. But what if, at the end of Rise of the Beast, at the end of the 90s, he just stays on Earth, and he's actually from the future or something, and he becomes Frenzy.
See him climb aboard Air Force One.
Yeah, he lives on Air Force One for the next 3 decades.
It's cool, except he doesn't look anything
package of cigars
like
him.
him.
Bill Clinton.
Dude, Freezer looks more like Frenzy than Bumblebee looks like the later Bumblebees. They both have 4 arms. They're both tiny. They don't turn into anything useful.
They got all the eyes, spikes.
They almost have the same amount of letters in the name.
I don't see it, man. I'm glad you do. I don't see it. Freezer looks like he steps out of the Guillermo del Toro film with his head, and Frenzy looks completely different.
And let's be honest, it's Guillermo del Toro film, but with design by Guy Davis.
Correct.
Yeah.
You always correct me on that, and I never remember that dude's name.
Dude, Guy Davis is amazing.
You guys want to hear some legacy stuff for next year?
Lay it on me.
Why not, Christian? Sure.
All right. There's some pretty far-fetched ones in here, so just stay with me, and I'm going to skip the new weaponizer, Junkion, fossilizer guys for now, because we're going to come back and talk about them later.
Wait, there's more fossilizers?
There's the break apart thing that they've been doing for a while. There's a new break apart dude, presumably.
What if DevCon is the leak that we saw like 2 years ago?
What are you talking about?
Like, what was it? Like a Scourge remold that we saw 2 years ago? They're all like, oh, that's fake. And what if DevCon is actually that toy?
Could be, but DevCon is in the deluxe class.
That's so bizarre. We did prove that was a fake.
I think we proved that was fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa! Something just happened.
Oh wow. Okay.
What? Are you,
Paul
what?
hijack things.
One of them has 2 arms. One of them has 4 arms.
What's
One of them
going on?
has that weird ass face. One of them has like a normal pointy face.
Paul, it's not coming through on the regular broadcast, so.
Freezer is cooler is King Cold.
All right. So legacy stuff. We got Core Clash Energon Megatron, Core Beast Wars Tasmanian Kid,
Wait,
Deluxe
sorry, what?
animated
Tasmanian Kid? What is that?
Tasmania
That's
Kid.
He was
class.
the guy that my son only knows from Space Jam 2 because Rick and Morty dropped him off on LeBron James and Bugs Bunny's spaceship in Space Jam 2.
Okay.
Are you high? What was that?
That hurts my head so
I
much.
don't know what this means.
I'm not kidding. That is a literal scene in Space Jam 2 where Morty show up all of a sudden, drop Devil, the WB Taz, on Bugs Bunny and LeBron James' spaceship. And then like, oh, we like couldn't handle this guy and then fly away. That's a literal like 1 minute scene in Space Jam 2. I swear to God.
Okay.
That just proves that there didn't need to be a Space Jam 2.
Yeah, Justin Roiland got some money for that.
So Tasmania Kid, who is listed as Tasmanian Kid? I don't know if that will be what it comes out at. Deluxe animated Bumblebee.
Who the heck went out there and copyrighted Tasmania Kid? Like, just like, you know what? I'm gonna own this copyright for Tasmania Kid versus and force Hasbro's hand to change the name of the toy.
It also has a Z instead of an S.
Christian, I'd like to remind you that Frenzy has 4 arms.
Sometimes. So Deluxe animated Bumblebee, Deluxe Rescue Bots Chase, Deluxe
He's on the
Cyberverse
case.
Windblade, Deluxe G1 Gears, Deluxe G1 Sure Shot, and Deluxe Cyberverse Chromia.
Now, who can tell me the difference between Cyberverse Windblade and regular Windblade?
Cyberverse looks more chibi. Her features are more exaggerated.
Oh, that's fair.
That's sort of Cyberverse in a nutshell.
I mean,
The other piece of
Cyberverse
this,
Apollo.
in the Core Deluxe, Core and Deluxe classes, we have listings for Rock 1 in Core and Rock 1 and Rock 2 in Deluxe. Rock,
So what's your theory
Rocks.
on that, Christian? Rocks?
I think they're Rock Lords.
Actual Rock Lords? I don't know. That
I
sounds
think they're
crazy.
actual Rock Lords.
What if they're the Rock Bots, the old Hasbro concept from the 80s, where it's basically just Gen 1 figures with long hair and guitars?
They did a San Diego pack of that.
They did. They sure did.
It's a very cool pack.
The Knights of Unicron, right?
Yeah.
2016?
Yes.
Give or take.
Come on.
It was Jazz, Megatron, Optimus.
It was all the War for Cybertron Deluxe guys.
Right. But who was the other Decepticon? Was it
Soundwave.
a Seeker or was it
Soundwave.
It was Soundwave?
Soundwave.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a cool pack.
It is.
I didn't get it initially, but I picked it up several years later. So yeah, we've
Still
got
on it?
Rocks coming. I don't know what that is. Someone gave me an alternate theory that's not Rock Lords, but it was something else.
Meteorbs.
That's He-Man, though.
No. I don't remember what it was. I think Anna said something that was actually interesting. Not that she doesn't say interesting things all the time. I just can't remember what it was.
We haven't hung out with Anna in a while.
She should come on.
So
Seriously.
the core class confuses me because we have Armada Megatron coming this year in the leader class. That's happening. They did that in the pipeline reveal. But we have this Energon Megatron that's in the core class. And I don't know why they would make that character in that form
I do.
in that class. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Hit me,
They're
Peter.
gonna redeco it into Galvatron.
Or Shadow Glass.
Or
But, like-
Shattered Glass. But they're going to redeco it into little baby Galvatron to go with little baby Prime and little baby everyone else.
I don't know why when they've been so faithful to, putting things in the appropriate size classes, from then to now, why that?
Oh yeah,
would be a
because
core.
86 Ratchet is the appropriate size class.
But Ratchet is a heritage character that people know. People don't know this version of Megatron.
Everyone
Maybe
knows
that's why he's
Swan.
not a leader. I don't know. But it's not like that's not like the archetype of Megatron. It's definitely a different Megatron.
Dude,
That's the only
Megatron's
thing I
always
have
been a
with that.
Swan. Beast Wars Megatron was a Swan,
Yep.
right?
And then Tasmania Kid is a weird choice, but I'm here for it. He was in a show. Not a show that was released here, but he was in one.
I'm sure it'll be a remold or can be remolded into something we care about. Because, like, here's the thing. We are neglecting to expand our minds to think about what can be remolded from or into a Rise of the Beast character.
Well, it's going to be remolded from Rat Trap. If they're
I think
using
it's
any
probably
tooling,
Rat Trap.
yeah, if they're using pre-tooling or retooling or any of that, it's going to be from Rat Trap with a new head, little Tasmanian head.
There you go,
I
Peter.
think that makes the most sense.
Peter takes the cake.
Removable tail weapon, and it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, everybody. We're all going to be fine.
fine.
Transformers is safe.
So, I'm not familiar with this character. Is it? Can we?
It's
He's
Beast
in
Wars
Beast
Snarl.
Wars.
It's
Yeah,
Beast Wars
Snarl.
It's Beast Wars Snarl. It's the little basic class figure. He's a little guy. His tail comes off and his little pew pew weapon, and
He turns
He's
into a
got him-
Tasmanian
Beast
Devil,
Wars 2.
which
he was in Beast
I've
Wars 2.
always-
He's called Tasmanian Kid there.
I've only seen him I've only seen a Tasmanian Devil live in person at the San Diego Zoo. They're cute. They don't look like devils. They
No, they're
run
super
around
cool.
and look cute. I'm sure if you picked it up, it would eat your face, but from a safe distance, it looks cute. Kind of like a Wolverine.
So that's cool. And then
Tasmania.
Deluxe Animated Bumblebee, that's pretty cool to get that specific thing. After seeing what they did with Prowl for the next wave of Legacy, I am super excited for this beat. And then
What if it
Rescue
comes
Bots
with a
Chase,
Falzone minifigure?
that would be super. Please do.
So I'm
Uh,
curious,
Chase-
like with this legacy line, how many characters they're gonna actually do for, like animated and Prime. Like, are they gonna hit all the highlights? Do you think, or are they gonna still leave a fair amount of characters out?
I don't know, man. There's only so many spaces per year,
Right.
but it would be nice if they could hit a bunch. I think you could probably get Bulkhead to pull double duty for Prime and Animated.
I feel like they need to do Lugnut. Didn't he win the fan vote or something?
Yeah, he did. Favorite animated character. So yeah, I think Lugnut would probably be high on the list. I think Megatron would be high on the list, but only because they could reconfigure that to be Earthspark Megatron.
Yeah.
I think Slipstream probably
check
fairly
these
likely if
dudes
people
out.
like her.
Check out these two dudes. I could just plop his head right in there, and you'd be like,
What the heck are
"Hey,
you
the
doing?
same dude."
Paul's still digging in on his Freezer is Frenzy thing.
Yeah,
And
Paul.
you guys
Paul
can't
has
see it, but
hijacked
we
our
can.
internal video feed to show us that Freezer and Frenzy are the same person.
They very
Same
much
bot.
are. I can't see what I'm sharing, so I guess I don't know. Sorry, I don't even know what it looks like.
No,
Yes.
like you're making a solid
Freezer's
case, Paul.
final.
I'm not going to argue. This is a solid case, dude. I mean,
I hadn't even mentioned it until this podcast, but I definitely was thinking it like all since that image came out on the box art. I was like, "What's going on here?"
yeah,
But-
no, that's a really solid case. I hadn't thought about it till you mentioned it. And it's like it is hard to get out of my brain now.
I don't see it.
You will.
Okay.
It's squintable.
Well, Chase is coming, which is pretty cool. Nice to see Rescue Bots making the jump to a collector line.
Do we
And then
think he's going to be an original mold or a repaint?
This is a year out. It's too soon to tell.
Yeah. I mean, he'll probably be a remold, right?
With Silverbolt
Something.
from Combiner Wars.
Combiner
We got all the Stunticons, so there's plenty of cars he could be remolded from.
Sure.
Which one?
Chase.
The
Rescue Bots Chase.
Oh. I think they'd probably make a new one.
He
I would
was
hope.
I think
more
they
of
would
like a
too.
Mustang sort of look to him. Mustang / Camaro sort of look to him in his bot mode. Was it Corey Burton was his voice? I want to say.
Maybe
God,
they'll do
why do I know
the
that?
animated Bumblebee. That would make
No,
some sense.
animated Bumblebee would look nothing like Robot
Well, those are in the
Chase.
same wave too. There's not usually
Yeah.
two remolds of each other in the same way.
Well, they don't know. They don't really know the waves.
They don't really know the wave. That's true. Yeah, I think it's too soon to speculate on stuff like that, Phil.
I just feel like both of those characters, whatever they're going to do in Legacy, like they could get away with like changing them to be similar enough to because they're both from animated shows in a way, and they both kind of have like the puffy.
We'll see. We'll
Machine
see in a year
Robo.
or so.
No, Chase was DC Douglas was his voice.
We have Cyberverse representatives in Windblade and Chromia, and G1, Gears, and SureShot. Like we mentioned
nice
before,
to
the
see
Cyberverse things are
Gears.
weird. It will be nice to see Gears. And we have a listing this year for Studio Series G1 Brawn, which means to complete the art crew, we just need a wind charger somewhere.
I mean, I would
2027.
assume we're going to get a wind charger, right? At some point.
Presumably, but there have been no listings so far. We'll talk about them on the next leak list, hopefully.
That's a 2025 initiative.
Probably tail end 2024. It's not really a leak, but we've heard some rumblings that there's a shakeup happening that will begin in 2025. So maybe this current iteration of the line ends and we start over with something else. I don't know.
Yeah, that's,
I mean,
that's the 3 year sort of thing.
Right.
Yep. So we brought up rescue bots. Let me ask you guys an off-topic question, but it's still on topic. I've got an opportunity to meet real Will Friedle. You know, it's at a convention. I got to pay for it. There's no package to get like a voiceover thing from him. I can either get a picture with him or an autograph. But I really enjoy getting videos of voice actors, and like especially the Rescue Bots guys holding up their characters. And I just got
Rescue Bots?
He was Bumblebee in Rescue Bots. Bumblebee made a couple appearances in Rescue Bots, and I think his final appearance, maybe 1 or 2 appearances in Rescue Bots, he had gotten his voice back from Transformers Prime. And Will Friedle was there. He was the RID Bumblebee at that point. So it was Will Friedle as Rescue Bots Bumblebee.
All right, cool.
Should I pay for a video? Like, should I try and finagle a video with Will Friedle holding up his Bumblebee Rescue Bots toy, which my 3-year-old now has, so I can continue my collection of Rescue Bots voice actors doing their characters?
Certainly ask him.
All right.
I think so, yes.
I think that's worth it.
Are you really asking us this? Like, you need. What if we said don't do that?
Don't do that. Don't ever do that.
Don't do that, Phil. You have a
posed
collection of
like
jigs
years-
exactly
I posed
that? No.
He
Don't
needs
let
all of
your-
us
you
to
guys-
enable him, Paul.
Yeah, because I said to a couple of you guys a year ago in private chats, like, hey, it'll cost me $200 to go get like an autographed picture of me and Carl Weathers doing the Predator like handshake thing, and you guys are like, no, save your money. I'm like, all right, you're right, I will.
If it's ever autographs, I say no.
That's a
Never
different
get anything
story.
autographed ever.
All right.
I mean,
all right.
you're doing this for your son.
That's my true stance on that. Don't.
It's
get
also
things
kind of
autographed.
for me. As much as I like, oh, it's for my son. Like, no, it's for me because I'm a freaking nerd.
Well, the Predator thing is definitely not for your son. So
Oh no, that's
you got,
totally for me.
you got the
Right.
right.
Like I gotta build up my bicep more to like be able to like get that handshaking with Carl Weathers. Oh, I want that so bad.
I got a better idea. Why don't you go to DairyCon and do that and bring your Bumblebee and get a picture of Fred?
I'm signed up, buddy. Signed up. I'm do a table.
No.
Here you go.
I guess
Those are my
it's all talk.
lists. That's what I got. I have no more lists. I have finished.
We're through
Good
the
job.
list. Wait a minute, Christian. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, we're still under an hour.
I went fast. I cut through Phil's distractions. Peter did only one tangent on Toe Line, which was very nice. Paul showed us a cool box. I read the list, and now we're done. We did it.
So now we can talk about family tree of frenzy.
We went through this list and then we didn't talk about anything.
Okay. I've done my part.
No
now it's up to you to have the discussion.
So,
I mean, Swoop is by far and above the highlight of this list.
He's not a highlight to me at this point. I mean, they said 3 years ago he was coming.
I don't care.
So
I want
Toxitron's the highlight
to
for me, or
finish
Toe
the
Line is the
Dinobots.
highlight for me.
Yeah.
It will be. I'm absolutely excited for Swoop. He's just not a surprise.
He's not a surprise, but it's like, it's like the Dinobots, man, are just, that was my sweet spot as a kid. Like 5-year-old, 6-year-old me was just like, holy, crap in a hat. Freaking robots that turn into dinosaurs. We'll probably get some sort of Gen Selects out of Swoop to give the toy colors and the animated colors. And maybe the Gen Select. That's an idea. The official version will come with a flight stand, and the Gen Selects version will give us the different weapons.
So I have a question. With Swoop, do you think that it'll have like a toy accurate feature where the head will break off easily?
Hope not.
I wouldn't call that a feature.
I'm just, yeah.
My first version of Swoop, the face broke off, and anytime I could turn him into robot mode, he still had the pterodactyl head. Is robot mode. And then my parents were gracious enough to find me a second Swoop that transformed properly.
So Ron has a good question for Christian in the chat. He asks, what would you do if a BotBot character was added to Legacy?
Ooh, can I add to that? Which BotBot would you prefer?
Good questions. To Ron, I'd be very excited, but I'm excited for most things. But I'd be more excited than usual for that. As for which one, considering the impact of the show and the funness of the toy, I think it'd have to be Bergatron.
It's fair.
What about was it the Sprinkle, the donut one?
Sprinkleberry Nut? Yeah, sure, him too.
Okay.
He was missing / killed, and he wasn't.
But then he was okay. Yeah, I think that'd be neat. I think they won't do it, but only because they're not vehicles.
It's hard to reuse those molds.
The BotBots reused the molds plenty of times.
They do. I think what would be more likely to happen is they would do like a deluxe pack of several BotBots in new color schemes. I think. Is that likely? No. But is it more likely than doing, a singular character in a deluxe or core scale? I think probably.
Christian, what's the crazy old cat lady BotBot?
I don't have that name memorized yet. But yes, that's a thing.
If they did like a Cheetor repaint, if they took Rise of the Beast, Voyager Cheetor, repainted it into crazy cat lady BotBot, how excited would that make you?
Not very. I'm good with just Cheetor.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Also, I'm not a fan of them adding humanoid characters to BotBots. Like, this latest series is not good.
I like
half
the
of it's
cracks.
good.
I appreciate, Christian, that the cracks have formed.
They should have just released the original Series 6 they revealed at Toy Fair 2020, but they didn't. I don't know why.
Do you think
we'll
be able to get the prototypes of the ones that they revealed at Toy Fair 2000?
Do I think I will ever have the opportunity? I doubt it.
If I would have known the way things were going to go after Toy Fair 2020, I would have just bum rushed the BotBot display and stolen them all for you, Christian. I would have gotten kicked out forever. But that was the last Toy Fair ever anyway, so it would have been worth it.
I know someone local to me who probably will claim that he has all the BotBot prototypes, and He'll sell them to you for $10,000 a piece.
I mean, let's
Great
face it,
deal.
Rick probably already stole them.
You know, I have some new BotBots pieces that I am very excited to show off to you guys. Some of you have seen. I think all of you have seen them, but none of the viewers have seen them.
Yeah, but do you have the blue plunger?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that Cliffitron?
Who do you think I am?
Cliff Dumper.
Cliff Dumper. My bad.
Yeah, I've got him.
All right. Good on you.
Who
Okay,
are you
so-
talking to?
Speaking of this leak list, like it got me. It just proves that time heals all wounds. Because I went back and I watched this. Some illustrious people on YouTube have made what do you call it, compilation videos of like every scene with Mohawk in it, or every scene with Nitro Zeus in it. And I watched some of that last night Decepticon stuff, and I remember just being so just like disgusted with that scene and like the way they were all like announcing the names and everything. I was like, this is so lame. This is so stupid. But I watched it now, and I enjoyed it. It was kind of nice. I was like, oh, I want to watch the last night again because I don't remember anything that happened in the last night.
I feel like you're gonna regret that.
Mohawk
has
is
Nick
funny.
has
But
Nick
Mohawk
done
was,
the
like,
Infinite
interesting
Pain
'cause-
list on? Didn't he already do last night, like a couple years ago?
They did
Last-
commentary for all of them.
Yeah.
But like Mohawk was interesting because he was a motorcycle, like concept car, concept motorcycle that came out in like 1996. He was like 15 years after that concept vehicle had come out, and Michael Bay was like, "Oh, this is cool. Let's make this into a Transformer." And then like nothing ever happened after that.
You got a toy from Dr. Wu.
Okay.
I'll have a toy from Hasbro.
Well, I guess the thing that always pissed me off was like, wait, why would humans be able to like? That's one thing I hate about all these movies, and this is not where we're trying to go. But like, why would humans have any ability to like contain Transformers at all? Like, it just doesn't even make sense. But so they're all in prison or whatever. But that scene is kind of funny. Like, it's entertaining, and I want Mohawk, and now I want I didn't realize that Berserker or whoever his name is, or Dreadbot, he turns into like he turns into what Wheeljack turns into, the Winnebago or the VW bus.
That's a Dreadbot, yeah.
Just absurd.
What about
Berserker got a Wave 1 toy, appears in the movie for all of 2 seconds. Like, no, you can't have Berserker. Bye. They move on.
He wasn't even really in the movie, right? He was
there. They're like, hey, this is Berserker. You can't. No, there's no way you can have him. And then Megatron's just like, all right, whatever. Give me Dreadbot instead. And then they do.
My love for you is like a berserker.
So I wonder if we'll get if we're getting Mohawk, would you think we'll get Onslaught maybe and
Eventually.
An onslaught of reveals.
oh yeah.
I think
See, full
eventually
circle.
they'll hit all of them, truly. Except maybe Skids and Mudflap from Revenge of the Fallen. Although I really do think they'll do them at some point.
They really, it's so dumb that they wouldn't do that.
It's
like-
dumb that they wouldn't, but it's also very corporately safe that they wouldn't.
I mean, they were crappy robots that turned into crappy vehicles that were just crap. It was just crap, 100% crap. I mean, it's cool that you want to buy crap, but I don't.
I don't know. I like the ice cream truck version of
Yeah.
them. That's cute.
But like, that was never in the movie. That was really them, right? That was just like some like.
yes,
the
it
lead
was.
It was.
So
All right.
yeah, they were talking, and they transformed and beat each other up.
Transformed.
Phil, if you're gonna be wrong, at least be on screen.
I'm
So we can
lying
belittle
down
you.
because I've had a lot to drink.
Oh no!
Oh, that makes sense.
no!
Try not to say
Wow.
anything inarticulate.
Too late.
So
Yeah, I do think we'll get stuff like Onslaught later. You know,
Well, so let's
Eventually.
all we talked about was one option for Megatron being the Bumblebee movie one. So the other option is he's an '86 Megatron.
He's an '86, and he turns into a gun. He shoots Brawn, and we all are sad.
And he actually shrinks to fit in Starscream's hand.
Yep, this is what he's gonna do. They promised it. Studio series.
Yeah, if it is '86 Megatron, I truly don't know what they'll do with that.
I hope it's a new mold. I'm tired of that freaking tank.
I think it would be a new mold, but what would it turn into?
I
Freaking
don't see
tank.
how they could ever not do a tank. Like, what else are they gonna do?
I mean, they could
Submarine.
do a Titans Return submarine. Yeah,
Submarine.
I was getting there, Peter. I think that's the closest maybe they could get, but golly, I don't know, man.
I mean, if they can't make him into a gun, they just shouldn't fucking make it. You know, like that's just. But I guess the point being, I'm gonna ignore the gun problem. But like if they do
What are you,
make
Congress? You're Congress.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
you.
there is no gun problem. But I guess to me, if they pull that off, that means they're gonna probably end the line with the Optimus or something, you know, or you know, we'll have a nice leader, Optimus Prime, that's hopefully less greebly than. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Earthrise Prime, in my opinion, but like it would have to be a leader class to go with them, so it would get a nice new, you know, accurate looking leader.
I feel like
Optimus.
Optimus Prime, like at some point, aren't they going to do a core or not core class? I'm sorry. What the heck's the I'm like
Commander?
blanking on the name. The
Admiral
$80,
class?
not Titan class.
Commander?
Commander
Command-
class. Do a commander
said
class
that.
with like a proper trailer.
Maybe, probably so.
I mean, they'll come out with 14 versions before you get that one, and it won't be right. But you know, yeah, they'll get to it.
And the trailers will be shattered once arrive on your doorstep.
Yes.
One gray
Well,
hand,
yeah.
one black hand.
Right.
Oh, I get
They
what you're
come
saying.
with blue
Luke.
or
So, like,
gray roller at random.
make a commander Optimus Prime instead of a leader.
Right.
Is that what you're suggesting? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like they can still milk the 86 line for quite a bit more before they have to quote unquote end it.
I mean, we're all turning 50
That's what
and
the Rock
stuff.
was.
Whoa.
Sorry, I finally remember what it was.
Sorry, were you Canadian?
Did I say sorry?
You said sorry.
You said
Cool.
sorry.
Then-
You confused
Anyway.
an Indian fashion garment with a child's name.
All right. So you know how this year we have Junkions and they're hanging out, and Junkions are originally from the '86 movie. That's where that connection was. So thanks, Phil.
Right.
The other theory about the Rocks were not Rock Lords, but the Lithonians, like Arblis and Kranix from the '86 movie. That's the other thing that people think the Rock might be.
Obulus, look, it's Unicron.
Yes, those guys.
But they didn't turn into rocks. They turned into little ships. It
Yeah,
looked like them lying down.
I
yeah.
think the concept art of them was kind of craggy, not rock. I don't know.
No,
Lith, when the prefix lith means rock in Latin, so I think they were supposed to be kind of rocky, and then they ended up not being.
Well, yeah, they it was version 5 of the script, and they changed it.
Yeah.
But they kept the important things, but the people making those edits didn't know the dictionary like you do.
They kept rails.
I took 2 years of Latin in middle school. 3 years.
They
of
offered
middle school.
Latin in your
3
middle
years of Latin.
school?
Yeah.
fancy middle school.
Wow.
Post
They offered us how not to get jumped into a gang. They offered us
a whole class.
Well, they made us take like assemblies, like what to do if you get offered to jump into a gang. Like that was like a real thing that we're doing in freaking Tampa in the 90s.
And then
help me
Peter
learn
joined the
the
army,
roots.
which is in no way, shape, or form anywhere
Anywhere.
similar.
Yeah, the theory is that it's Rock Lords or it's Lithonians or it's something else. There you go.
It's something else.
That's, as they
They
say
have-
in Latin, a Dorcas Malorcus.
Did they have philosophy courses at your middle school too, Christian? Just like slew of useless learning.
I think. I don't remember any philosophy in my middle school.
Gender studies.
We had a paper that they wouldn't let me be
It's called
on.
sex ed,
Like,
Phil.
I'm incredibly good at writing. They're like,
Dude,
"Nah,
it's a
get
quick
out."
story.
Oh, great.
I fell asleep in my high school health class like all the time because it's high school health. Why do you need to stay awake? And like they were showing like the birthing video, and I woke up like midway through the class, and there was like the baby crying. I'm like, what? What did I just wake up into? What sort of nightmarish, body horror movie are they showing on my TV? Like, oh no, that's real nature. And yeah,
It's The Shining.
If you want to watch fun body horror that's like creepy and delightfully violent and off-putting, watch Brand New Cherry Flavor on Netflix.
I don't enjoy body horror, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna go no to that.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a limited series. It's 8 episodes long. It stars the girl from Alita Battle Angel. And it's I don't even know how we started watching it. I think we put it on to go to sleep one night. And I was like, why the hell are we watching the next night? It was like, do you want to watch episode 2? I was like, I don't even know what the hell this is. I didn't watch this. And I don't drink, you guys. I just fell asleep. I don't know what the hell, how it got on my Netflix. So I watched episode 2, and it's fine. And then today I binged the rest because holy shit, it goes right off the rails and into my like wheelhouse of just like, this is so messed up and so wonderful. Brand New Cherry Flavor, check it out.
Check that.
Back to whatever we were talking about, robots.
So we're like done with the show then.
So I'm gonna be interested to see the War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron, whatever, like those figures when it's like they've been rumored for so long, but to actually like see what they look like, and I mean I guess we know what they look like, but
Yeah.
whatever. To actually see what the representation of the toy will be. I think it'll be interesting.
I would say 60-70% of those toys look really good. Like they like the original ones that we got looked like they had been ripped off screen. Like the Seekers looked pretty darn good. They were small, they got better versions from Make Toys.
Yeah.
I thought
Planet X, by the
Planet
way.
X.
Not
Planet X, I'm sorry, you're right. Planet X, definitely did a better job for a lot of those. Like some of them like especially for the second video game did not get great toys. But
Onslaught.
What's that?
Onslaught.
Yeah. Obviously, the Combaticons is not.
The rest of them are generally fine. Onslaught. Oof.
You mean Impactor?
I liked him as Impactor. I still have.
I love his head.
I really like
I will
it.
say that's probably my favorite Impactor toy head. Not the right colors, but from an Impactor head sculpt mold, that looks really good.
I like the Marvel Comics one. I like the IDW one. More than
I was always disappointed
but it's not
that
bad.
Planet X never did Bruticus.
I agree.
So like we always tried to talk him into it.
Maybe we'll get one from this 86 Studio Series line.
So the original Sideswipe mold was reused to make a Jazz mold. Good amount of remolding, honestly. Do we think we'll get the same?
Went the other way.
Jazz was wave 1, Sideswipe was wave 3.
Yeah, went the other way.
Come on.
But
is it pre-tool?
I mean, maybe. Sure. Why not?
Yeah, both were kind of weak in my.
They were. There was a lot of potential, but both were kind of weak. I will agree with that.
I'm excited to, especially these the Fall of Cybertron dudes with more modern engineering, and then stuff like War for Cybertron, the first game, Bumblebee and Prime. I would like to see those with modern engineering and also a little bit simplified. Those original 2010 figures were fairly complex, especially Optimus.
I don't
and
care.
it was amazing what we could get in the deluxe class point then. Like those were like, wow. But it would be nice to see those streamlined just a little bit more.
I will fight you. Those two toys are amazing.
They are.
War for Cybertron Optimus and War for Cybertron Bumblebee are two of my favorite transforming toys ever.
Okay.
I will fight you that we need updated versions of those.
I mean,
2010?
2010,
man.
It's been.
I'm interested to see how they label. I'm interested to see how they. I think I'm the only person that gives shit, but like I want to see how they label these. Are they going to be considered like? I already think they're going to give them a new designation, kind of like the 86 thing. So like they'll probably call them like WFC-01 or something. They'll be like out of the sequence of the normal studio series. But like, how are they going to do it? Are they going to consider it like video game? Like how general or narrow will their scope on this be?
So are you saying
Moon,
you want to see
Activision?
Studio Series toys of the Transformers Armada PlayStation game?
I want that.
Sure.
I want that.
Sure.
All the extra minicons, the 4,000 extra. Gimme.
And
That's
all
the
the
best.
Decepticon drones?
The best Transformers video game ever is the Armada game. It is amazing. Everyone go outside.
Wolf Cybertron, he's right.
The cutscene where Tidal Wave transforms is insanely awesome.
I am interested if they've got this kind of largish push around these toys. I mean, there's several releases, not just Prime and Megatron and Beat. Like they're going into another year from what we've seen. Have they somehow figured out a new distribution to get the game back out there?
Well, I was
Their
gonna
deal with
ask that
Activision
too.
expired several years ago, so it
Every-
hasn't been available except on the secondary market.
Every single like game has been redone at this point with like higher res graphics. So I mean, if they could somehow give Activision the license again for the game, and
Someone
or whoever, well, I don't know what kind of licensing that would be. Like, if, of course, I don't know. High Moon Studios isn't an actual studio anymore, right? But I guess Activision probably owns the rights to that, I'm assuming. I don't know. Who knows?
I think it depends on how it was made, but yeah, somehow I'm wondering if they got it, if they're going to get it back out again. Because it's been a while. It'd be nice to see an anniversary version of that.
Here's Christian. Like there's two things, two conflicting thoughts I have. Number one, we've got a new Transformers video game on the horizon. Why muddy up the waters? Conflicting thought is there's a new Transformers video game on the horizon. Let's reissue a quote unquote classic game to capitalize on the zeitgeist.
Is there a game on the horizon?
Yeah, there's
Yes.
like a first-person shooter.
Yeah, there's that one.
Oh, that thing that looked terrible from that trailer. That didn't make any sense.
I hope it never comes out.
I hope it gets canceled. Yeah,
Wow.
that thing
hope
looked
it gets
awful.
Louis
I
C.K.
totally forgot about that.
Oh, good. You're awake. You're an Autobot. Come with us.
No,
Shoot at that over there.
just reissue the two older games, and that's fine. We can forget about Rise of the Darkspark because that was terrible. But first two. And Dark of the Moon. Dark of the Moon's a good game.
Play Transformers online with other people.
Bubsy 3D.
Yeah,
Well,
it'd be nice. It'd be nice if they could get that out again. That's all. I've got no more information than that.
Thanks
So
for
I think
watching.
they need to.
What are you most excited about?
Oh man, I've been buying these machine robo figures. Not the new ones that turn into like Christmas cheese and hamburgers, but like old ones. And I've been digging out my old G.I. Joe stuff, and that's exciting. And what else? Oh, I'm getting ready to display my Masters of the Universe things in the living room.
Wait,
nice.
Did we talk about Shadow Striker, Strong Arm, Bombshell, Detrius, Junkion, and Bludgeon yet?
Nope.
We talked about those roughly 8 months ago.
All right. Who's Detrius again?
Detritus.
Is a
Detritus.
chunky
It's
on.
Hound Redeco.
Oh, yeah.
Got a little goatee.
And Bludgeon's
Say
supposed to
it
be a
again.
remold of Anorexic Tarn.
Detritus?
Bludgeon is supposed to be a remold of Anorexic Tarn, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Wearing skin.
I love
And a
having
Voyager
pretenders in
Junkion.
all the different sizes.
Yeah, there's a Voyager Junkion.
So
Where's
Peter,
Axter?
have you gotten any of the Legacy line?
Legacy or Legacy Evo?
Whatever.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of things. I got Crankcase, Elita 1, Tarantulas. I mean, I've got like, what is this? got cases of shit in here. There's a bunch of whatever the robots. I like robots. They're cool. I also like robots or whatever the things we're talking about. I buy them, but I've been buying like Beast Wars weird stuff.
If you
Yeah.
want to see into a rabbit hole of Transformers nostalgia, please follow Peter on social media. Like, if you want to see
definitely do
robots
that.
and toys, might not see those. But if you want to see cool hats with Star Saber on it, you will see those.
And if you
That's,
don't follow me
Destron
and like
Peter
all
on
of my
Twitter, right?
yeah, I'm Destron Peter on all the social platforms. And if you don't follow me and you don't like me and all that stuff, then I'm gonna stop sharing, and no one shares the stuff I share. So you're gonna be missing out. That's a threat.
I like them every time I see them. Which is, I think, pretty much every time.
Pretty much every day. I post about every day.
He's going to give us back Despots.
That Star Saber hat was really cool. I'd like to get a replica of that for TFCon this year.
They're out there, man. They're out there. I've got
Should I
doubles and
actually
triples of
wear
some
one?
of this weird stuff. Oh, the little flip down eyeball things. It's so cute. It's so cute.
It is really cute. I'd like to have one.
Should have put that in part of the HasLab stretch goal.
They should have.
You're right. They should have.
Mark should have worn it. He should have bought one for himself and worn it for the reveal or whatever. But
That
they're
would
not.
be very
They're
on brand for him.
they're not into
Cowards.
Transformers that much.
They're cowards.
They're just going to say,
Peter's
let's say
cowards.
go a bunch of times and hope that resonates with someone.
And
Way
Peter
too
is-
many times.
Peter, you heard it right here. Peter is calling the Transformers engineers and developers cowards. His words, not mine.
They've been in my head looking at my customs and then putting it on store shelves to make me sad. So, thanks. Also,
You still churn out customs quicker than Surge.
this is true.
Yeah, I'm waiting on several pieces from him.
Oh my god!
I traded him
I really didn't know there were
Combiner Wars
others.
Victorion for my first one, and that still hasn't arrived. So when was that?
2016.
2015? 2016?
One day.
One day.
All right, let me ask you guys a question. We got Tarn.
Yeah.
Will we ever see a Phasma from Hasbro?
Yes, she came out in 2015.
All right, no, what's his name? The doctor guy that hates Ratchet.
Pharma?
Pharma?
Pharma. Thank you, Pharma.
As what?
It's Gwendolyn Christie's character from the Star Wars franchise.
That's what I was going to say. It's the Silver Stormtrooper lady.
She has come out twice in the Black Series.
You're right. Yeah, Pharma. Will we ever see a Pharma from Hasbro?
And I hope so. But I got to work on my custom a little bit more, and then maybe we will,
Peter, have I told you my custom idea?
No. Tell me now.
The Titan Master's Rodimus head on Trigger Happy Body.
I'll be right
That
back.
doesn't
I'd
sound
him for
like
Cyclonus.
That doesn't sound like a custom.
I mean, it's a bit of a kit bash, but then you paint it.
He's gone. Bye, Peter.
And then make chainsaw hands.
I think he said he'd be right back.
He did.
Paul, what are you most excited for?
Well, I want to see these video game toys from Studio Series. I want to see how it pans out. I'm curious what their real angle is here. It's probably just filler. So like, we need more spots, so they took the video game stuff instead of doing Mudflap and Skids or Alice or the missing robots from the last two movies. Like they could do maybe Infernicus or something. Who knows? But I just kind of want to see how they handle it from a branding perspective, which is super nerdy, to care about. But hey, that's the name of the game. I haven't really paid a lot of attention to the Legacy leaks. But what I am curious about, again, this is another branding thing, is what is the third line going to be called? Legacy, I mean, it's UNI. So Universe seems like the most obvious thing, and it will be the saddest thing if that's what they choose, since they've used that fucking phrase so many times. Unity would be better. That'd be new, at least.
Yeah.
Or unified or unification. Or,
I don't know.
United was a Japanese line.
They've used that, but sure.
I feel like I don't care. Like the Legacy Evolution, like all of their like Evo, like whatever the heck they call the gimmick for this line is, I don't know, like hasn't really been a gimmick to me. Which I guess I'm happy that they don't actually have real gimmicks anymore, because like that was somewhat of a detriment to the lines a lot of times. They're just making good figures and then they're just like throwing something on top of it, but. Yeah, like I don't think Legacy Evolution. It's like, who cares what that name is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, most people don't care about that stuff, but to me, like, it's interesting. I liked it when they had numbers for all the things in War for Cybertron. So I was always trying to guess what the numbers were and that kind of thing. And now they don't do that anymore, so it's not even an issue. But
I mean, there's still plenty of characters from the video game that did not get toys. I mean, most of the Dinobots, most of the Insecticons, the aerial bots were playable characters. Jetfire was a playable character. So there's a ton of figures we didn't get. What's interesting is that so far we're getting toys, remakes of toys of characters that we did already get. And again, Sideswipe and Jazz were two of the cooler designs that their toys were slightly underwhelming. I'm not unhappy with that. I still want to see the giant, like, Gatling railgun, whatever, that Sideswipe came with, to come with a new toy, but I doubt that will happen. I don't know. I kind of agree with you, Paul. It's sort of a placeholder type of deal. In general, my sentiment of what Studio Series is has gotten watered down, though, with Rise of the Beast.
Why has it gotten watered down? What do you mean?
To me, Studio Series, when it first came out, was, hey, here is a mainline version of exactly what you saw on the screen. And what we're getting instead with Rise of the Beast is, here's a mainline version that is slightly higher end than what the other mainline version of this character will be.
I'm going to disagree on the merits that we haven't seen the movie yet.
I hear what you're saying, but just the fact that Air Razor is a remold of Kingdom Air Razor.
Not a remold.
It's not a remold, but they use the exact same engineering and transformation.
There's a precedent for that.
They're both re-engineered from how she transformed in the show.
All right.
Peter, you're
like,
back.
We've got, like, you look at Mirage. Mirage is a great example. Mirage is Studio Series. In Studio Series, Mirage looks like a chonky someone. I don't know. Did someone say sumo wrestler, or was that just in my brain? But like, he is a chonky, bulky guy, and in the movie trailer, he's like a very very acrobatic looking character. Hey, that Cheetor does look good. But that's not what we're seeing for some of the other characters.
Yeah.
So again,
bad mode.
Studio Series to me is as close as you can get to exact screen representation in the mainline toy. Rise of the Beasts, at least so far from what we've seen, is not giving us that.
Aren't you sick of this argument? Like, we've been doing this for 20 years. It doesn't look like it's supposed to. Well, that's because they're going to keep selling it to you better and better and better over time.
What? Are we going to get a Studio Series Ultimates?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure Mirage will have some sort of, like, upgrade during the movie, and we'll get a new version of him like that, and they'll come out in a Human Alliance 2.0 wave.
Arise Miragimus Prime?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Ron thinks that the Studio Series 886 will just morph into the G1 line, and the Legacy will dip out of everything. I don't know. I mean, I feel like G1 is such a cash cow, and I mean, who knows? It's hard. It's hard to say because this is still a few years into the future, and whatever. But I mean, a lot of those G1 is kind of somewhat evergreen, and it's like those are a lot of the big sellers. It's hard for them, I feel like, to dip out of like whatever the collector line is going to be to not do the G1 stuff. I think it would be interesting. I guess they're dipping their toe with the Legacy Evolution and all the other stuff coming out, like various lines, but yeah.
And you can make the argument that so many G1 characters appeared in the 86 movie that you could do a huge swath of the 86 characters in the Studio Series line and still call it Studio Series 86 and not be inaccurate.
Just about everybody was there. Everybody from 84 to 86 just about was there.
Yeah.
If they weren't there, they were storyboarded to be there.
Yeah. My point is the like regular whatever collector line is, I mean, G1 is kind of like the cash cow that they're always going to keep going back to that well. I feel like whether or not like it's cool for us to get all this other stuff, animated and Prime and all these other various representations. I just feel like that Hasbro is just going to keep going back to that G1 well overall to everything.
I want
who made that comment? I see what their point was, but yeah,
it was wrong.
I want.
I definitely see the point.
Studio Series Earthspark RC. Give it to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's saying that they would continue making the G1 cartoon stuff in Studio Series.
Yes.
Maybe as part of 86 or not. And then the legacy, whatever's after that, would be, what's left. The non-84, 85 guys.
Others.
And then on.
My response to that is I believe it when I see it.
It is unusual that we have two, quote, collector lines when none of Hasbro's other lines do.
Yeah.
There's Marvel Legends, and that's it. They don't have a Marvel Legends movie and Marvel Legends animation and a Marvel Legends comic. It's just Marvel Legends.
But Marvel Legends does have a clear subdivision, of what is MCU versus what is comic book, and now what is animated base. Like they'll put out the same figures in the same wave, but I think they know that there's like collectors who want Paul Rudd, looking Ant-Man, and there's collectors who want a 60s version Ant-Man. They'd literally just announced the same two toys, those two toys within a month of each other. So they're not branding them differently, but they are making different versions.
Yeah, it's just that ours are branded differently, but they go together anyway. And when's the last time you saw someone put the Studio Series 86, characters away from their other Legacy, Siege, Earthrise, G1 dudes? They're designed to go together. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, Springer and Galvatron and Cyclonus are going to fit with the 86 line pretty well.
Yeah.
But like,
it's just odd they don't do that with Snake Terrorists and Army guys.
Having multiple lines, though, like, I mean, they get more product on the shelf that way. I mean, there's additional SKUs like by doing that.
It's just unusual that the other collector lines don't do that. I guess Star Wars does with Black Series and Vintage Collection, but that's different scales. Ours are the same scale, except for core, but whatever.
I don't know. Transformers is an in-house thing, so it's different between when you're talking about something that is Disney versus in-house.
Although Army Guys versus Snake Terrorists only has classified. There's not.
No, they've got the different whatever. Yeah, they got.
Do they have a 3 3/4? How do they still have a 3 3/4?
It's with Transformers and with HasLab. They're supposed to do some later O-ring stuff eventually at retail, maybe.
I don't believe you.
We'll see how it goes. As with everything, Joe, all the Joe fans get super excited for 5 minutes, then they say, okay, I can't afford it anymore, I'm out. And then they quit en masse and stop buying things. Or distribution's so bad that no one can find anything, and they all start throwing a fit at Hasbro, and the line dies with 2 whole figures on the peg.
Then they overcompensate for the lack of distribution, and we're flooded with toys.
And then we can't get the same 2 figures off of pegs. Everyone, you got Gung Ho and Lady J for a year and a half, and everyone's like, all I can find is Gung Ho and Lady J, and I don't want to pay scalper prices for Crocmaster. And the line dies.
I hope that doesn't happen with Classified, because Classified is amazing.
All I see are those...
Tiger Force. I'm so tired of Python Patrol and Tiger Force. They weren't that cool to begin with.
Yes.
All I see are those Super 7 toys.
Yeah.
Oh, the reactions? Yeah.
I don't see any, but they blend into the background for me.
Blue Star.
I really have
Blue,
tried to care
Snake
about
Eyes.
G.I. Joe. I cannot. It does not. It just doesn't go. It doesn't fit in my brain.
Christian, there is a snake terrorist guy whose name is Crocmaster, and he comes with a giant crocodile. It's amazing.
Why is he with the snake terrorists if he doesn't have a snake? He's got a crocodile.
Because it's the reptiles.
Alien themed, you know. Christian has no room for snake terrorists because he was busy taking Latin in 7th grade. So,
Christian, they doubled down on the snake theme. You have Cobra, and the subdivision within Cobra is Python Patrol. They're members of Cobra, but they have like a secondary snake designation.
Great, good for them. I'm happy for them.
And then you have like all the different Vipers. Don't get me started on how awesome all the different Vipers are.
I hope I just hope both teams have fun.
I mean, they pretty much do, because no one dies. Except for, like, even Duke just goes into a coma.
I mean, I read the comics, so...
Oh, yeah. Larry Hama killed a bunch of those dudes.
Okay, so we've gotten off topic here. Is there anything else that we want to bring up about these leaks and the new stuff coming out?
The Autobot Target Masters are complete with Sure Shot. That's nice.
Oh, no. Yeah, yes, and no.
Okay, no, they need to release Target Masters for Blur, Cub, and Hot Rod, but yes.
No.
Where's Quick Mix and Scoop? Come on.
Not the double Target Masters, just the ones from Rebirth.
Give me some landfill. Give me some Quick Mix.
I know.
Where's my stepper?
He needs more love.
Where's my stepper? Yeah, we need new crosshairs.
Yeah.
Crosshairs would be good. I think they could probably remold that Sure Shot and do crosshairs again.
No, we want to save the Sure Shot remold for Joyride and Ranger.
I agree with that. Joyride, yeah. Yay. Ranger, yay.
Joyride, yeah.
Ranger, yay to a lesser extent, but only because I'm less familiar with him, not because he's any less valid.
Who's Ranger?
He's the Master Force Redeco of Joyride.
Oh, okay.
He can hang out with his pal, Professor Hawk.
And Minerva.
Yeah, Minerva. Hawk.
Minerva.
Hey, anyone need a Minerva? Hey, how many you got?
Yeah, so I think with that we've now talked about each of them individually.
We didn't talk about Core Starscream.
We did not talk about Core.
You said you were going to, and then you passed over him like he's some sort of gum on the bottom of your shoe.
Well, because he's a snake
and
terrorist.
You never came back.
He's a snake terrorist, and he doesn't like snake terrorists.
No, he's included in the Bumblebee movie 86 thing.
So there's arguments to be had for each direction. So I'm trying not to make
either way. But
well, he's more likely to be a core version of the movie Seeker. That is the more likely option here.
Yeah, I could see that. Or they're putting the however he originally came out, or Kingdom Starscream, wherever he was in Core, the G1 version. And they're just going to deco it appropriately, and he's in Studio Series now.
That would just be super stupid, since it's coming out in Legacy Evolution. Like, it's literally like they're just that would be I would be very upset.
I don't know. You're thinking
what if
it
the
is
Rock
a core version of this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, hold on that. What if the rock guys are the protoforms of Optimus and Starscream and Jazz?
I'd be down for that.
All into Earth. They're all made of gold plastic, translucent gold plastic.
If that was in Studio Series as a listing, I think that would make sense, but it's not. But I do like that idea anyway.
I think if this Trigger Happy were larger, you could make a good pharma. No one ever knocked off these molds. I chopped this one up. I chopped the guns off of his arms to do something, and I forget what it was. But I chopped the guns off of his arms to do Metal Hawk before Metal Hawk was released in the blah blah set.
The gift set, yeah.
And then it ended up in a bin. So anywho, yeah. But if you were larger, you could be a pharma. I swapped his wings around too, so they would point like that way.
Yeah, and you give him the rod on his head, and that's probably the closest we got to a pharma. Phasma for Drunken Filth.
Phasma with 7 minutes of screen time across 2 movies.
What a waste.
Yeah. But dude, that battle damage head sculpt on her is sweet.
Your scum.
I do want to mention book club this week is going to be Fight Super Robot Lifeform Transformers Chapter 5 through Chapter 8. So apparently it is the week that Megatron kicks the puppy. So join book club at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central on Sunday nights on the TF Talk Discord.
So evil.
Are you reading a script now?
Yeah, that was on the page.
That was on the Randall shared it on the TFYLP group, so he didn't post anything in the chat this time. So I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and read it off of what he had posted on the TFYLP group.
Is it like Jack Black style from Anchorman, where he just like punts it over a bridge?
Well, now this is happening.
Well, I don't know. Tune into the book club and find out.
All right.
So there you go. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight, and thank you to everyone in the chat. Thanks to Ron, thanks to Zaldron, thanks to Enot. Oh, and then also they said the book club has the leak info as well, that they've probably posted it ahead of time. So thanks to Darkheld David.
If y'all want to do leaks, you come on this show and do leaks. Take my job.
Okay, so Zaldron, just FYI, like for whatever reason, your first comment didn't show up on my feed, so I apologize.
Can't.
So you were late.
Square up book club.
I don't know. Normally it shows up like even the comments before, but I don't know, for whatever reason it didn't show up. So
yeah. I got book club bad this episode. I said a statement and Lucas drops the book club info. That's when I know I've failed. I've said nothing of value.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
That's the end.
We're done. What else do you want to say, Paul?
I'm not offended. No, I'm not offended. I'm just like, oh, that was my cue.
Yeah, I mean,
time to retire.
No one wants to be the last one that says something, and then book club comes down. No, it's over. It's like getting the hook.
This is what happens when you move to the suburbs. You've lost your edge.
It's keyboard cat time.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's keep the show going. We'll
we're leaving.
30
Goodbye.
Minutes on Paul's comment, whatever the hell he wants to discuss.
I don't even remember.
I thought we already you talked about it. You like gave your grievances, whatever, and I'm just like, okay, we're done.
And the response was.
Would anyone like to respond to Paul's earlier grievances before book club?
Even Ron's just like, take care, guys.
he's like, no. All right, Paul. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.
You guys remember an hour ago when you said you were done with all the leak reveals? Yeah.
Right.